United States failed to back Bob Watson's candidacy to remain as chairman, and he left. And that's an example of an oil company being involved in a degree of subterfuge that I think most reasonable people will regard as completely unreasonable.
Since your call to reduce or to have Exxon stop funding climate science denial organisations, have they continued to fund denial?
They started to reduce funding for these lobby groups in late 2005 when they saw a shift in the US Congress with more Democrats getting in the Congress. And they recognized that at that time, as there is now, there was a clear division between the Democrats that accepted the science of climate change and the Republican Party, many of whom did not accept the science. And they recognized that they were going to face political difficulties. And they have reduced, but they have continued funding for some organizations that continue to deny the risks of climate change. Organizations like the Heritage Foundation. And I would have said that that's simply bad business to be funding an organization that is in denial of science. And this is science, remember, that we've now built up over a couple of hundred years. It's been a couple of hundred years, really, since we first had the observations that the Earth is warmer than it otherwise would be by Joseph Fourier. And he observed that it was likely to be the atmosphere around the Earth that is responsible for keeping it essentially 33 degrees warmer than it otherwise would be. It was 150 years ago that John Tyndall did experiments in the lab to show that carbon dioxide, water vapor and other gases are greenhouse gases and are responsible for trapping the heat. And it was 100 years ago that Svante Arrhenius did the first calculations of how the Earth would warm if you burned a lot of the coal and released carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This is well-established science that we've known for 200 years, has withstood test for 200 years, and for anybody to be denying that is simply, in my view, engaging in flat Earth politics.